Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Kazan, the city of Kazan, the capital of Tatarstan. We are happy to introduce a new tour to you, a tour where you will see this magnificent Russian city, Tatar city as well, as we would love you to know more of Russia, to see not just St. Petersburg and Moscow. New tour is ready for you. You are very welcome. A magnificent view of Kazan, the third capital of Russia, opens from the main viewing platform of the city, which is located in the Kazan Kremlin. A panorama of the Kazan River appears in front of us, and on the opposite bank, a large bowl can be seen. It is called the center of the Kazan family. It is the main wedding registration office not only for the city of Kazan, but for the entire republic. St. Peter and Paul Cathedral is a unique example of the architecture of Peter the Great era. It was built early 18th century by one Kazan merchant and benefactor in memory of Peter the Great's visit to Kazan. Good to know that the Russian emperor celebrated his 50th birthday in this city. Throughout its history, the church and the bell tower have been repeatedly restored after numerous fires of the 18th and 19th centuries, as well as the destruction of the Soviet time. The restoration is still on. Old Tatar settlement Sloboda is a historical part in the center of Kazan. It is here that the Al-Marjani Mosque is located, built in stone by the personal permission of Catherine the Great in 1770. The old Tatar settlement used to be a spiritual, intellectual and commercial center of the city. There are endless rows of souvenir shops, cafes, bars, museums and art galleries on the main pedestrian street of Kazan. We arrived in February, -27 Celsius, chilly, and in summer there are a lot of people, music, fountains, and life is in full swing. There is a Bolshoi Drama Theater, where we watched Wonderful Fiddler on the Roof. Almost opposite the theater, there is a cast-iron copy of the carriage of Catherine the Great that the Empress used during her visit. The snow-white ice rink on Black Lake on a bright sunny day is simply mesmerizing. Black Lake is the name of a park in the center of Kazan where an ice rink has been kept in winter since the end of the 19th century. Now one can rent skates and skate for free. The main museum of the Republic, the National Museum of Tatarstan, houses the former indoor market building with a corner tower and a weather vane on the roof. The main Orthodox Church of Kazan, St. Nicholas Cathedral. This is a whole church complex built up not far from the Kremlin. The impressive white building in an eclectic style with columns and a large glazed dome is the Palace of Farmers, which are the headquarters of the Ministry of Agriculture. The palace is beautifully lit at night. Its central element is a 20-meter high bronze tree. Its green backlight symbolizes foliage. The introduction to the Kremlin begins with the snow-white Spassky or Savior Tower. Like the Spassky Tower in the Moscow Kremlin, it serves as the main entrance to the fortress. The Kremlin became stone in the middle of the 16th century when, after a long siege by the troops of Ivan the Terrible, the fortress fell and later it was rebuilt. All wooden defensive structures were replaced with stone ones. During its existence, the Kremlin has been rebuilt several times, so now you can see buildings belonging to different cultures, both Christian and Muslim. The construction of the Annunciation Cathedral began immediately after the conquest of Kazan by Ivan the Terrible. Suymbike Tower is the architectural symbol of the capital. The elegant building beyond the patterned gates is the former governor's palace, now the residence of the President of the Republic of Tatarstan. Nearby are the buildings of the cannon yard. And I'd like to return for a moment to Sümbike Tower, which forged gates are decorated with the images of the signs of the zodiac, the sun and the crescent moon. While we are traveling around the Kremlin with you, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel and put a like. In front of us is the Tainitskaya, or secret tower, which got its name from a secret underground passage to the water source, thanks to which people of the besieged fortress received water. The most famous building in the Kremlin is certainly the Qol Sharif Mosque. It is the site number 1 for photo shooting and travel photography. Qol Sharif Mosque is one of the main attractions of the city. It is named after the last Imam of the Kazan Khanate, Qol Sharif, who died defending the city in a battle with the army of Ivan the Terrible. The modern building of the mosque was completed in 2005, when we celebrated 1,000 years of Kazan. The construction was mainly carried out with donations from Russia and abroad. Over 40,000 citizens and organizations were involved in fundraising for the construction of the mosque. Books with the names of all donors are kept in the main hall. On the sides of the main prayer hall, there are 2 viewing balconies for tourists. The decoration of the mosque is truly magnificent. There are Persian carpets, Roman mosaics, stained glass windows, and a crystal chandelier from the Czech Republic weighing almost 2 tons. You are welcome to enjoy all the details with us. The main building of the mosque houses the Museum of Islamic Culture. Our advice is to book a guided tour with a local guide to learn the history and traditions of Islam. We were so lucky to have a young and very enthusiastic girl with deep knowledge and love for her profession. The highlight of the museum is the interactive scrolling Quran, where one can get acquainted with modern editions and facsimiles of unique manuscripts of the Holy Book of Muslims and listen to the sound of the surahs of the Quran. The most famous National Gallery of Art, Cuisine, is located in the Kazan Kremlin. Here are the works of the classics of the Tatar painting, as well as traditional and modern paintings and art objects. We are inviting you to enjoy some of the works with us. A two-story mansion in the city center houses the main building of the Museum of Fine Arts of the Republic of Tatarstan. The permanent collection shows the works of the foreign and Russian artists from the 16th up to the early 20th century. Here are some of the artworks we loved most of all. A popular museum called the City Panorama was opened in 2017. It is devoted to the history of Kazan and occupies more than 3,500 square meters on 4 floors. Here you can not only look at the exhibits, but also take part in many interactive installations. The thrill of the fascinating travel in time cannot be captured in this short film. You should come here yourself and see everything with your own eyes. And of course, we should speak about local cuisine. Bright, juicy, and very high in calories. The number one on our list of restaurants is Pashmir. This is not an advertisement, we really liked it there. The interior design, the service, and of course the food. Kochmak is the most famous Tatar national meat pie, a piece to die. We notice that in many restaurants, along with Tatar cuisine, a lot of delicious Uzbek dishes are presented. But no less popular are the restaurants offering exclusively Tatar dishes. There are places in Kazan where one can have excellent coffee, and we as lovers of this drink recommend not missing them. Welcome to Kazan!